Hi, I'm Pierre Hedary. Today we're going to do a brake pad replacement on this 1987 190D 2.5. When you're jacking this car up, there's a frame member right in between this front is. These frame rails is your support place. You just need a piece of her down. We're going to get to
comment on the brakes.
Well, one of the reasons we're doing these pads is while the rotors are reasonably healthy, somebody has used cheap brake pad. Really simple caliper to work with in front. What you have here is a 15 millimeter nut that holds the sliding pin of the caliper in place. You can undo this nut with the 13. You have to brace it with the 15 and a 15. And it's a little stiff because it is Loctite on it. I'm using a giant clamp. You don't necessarily need a clamp this big, but what I'm doing is I'm using the giant clamp to compress this piston. The piston has to be compressed so that the new brake pads can fit in. This is pretty simple. You just rotate this off. You can tell that these are low quality brake pads because they don't have a German stamp on the back and they don't have a KBA number. So pads like this are going to... If you look in the back of the caliper here, there is a sensor. And this sensor actually plugs into the pad and tells you that your brakes are worn down. Unfortunately, the last person who replaced these did not install the sensor right, and the rotor ground the brake sensor wire off. So we're going to replace this too. It plugs into this housing here, simply pulls out. It is a single pole connector. Our new brake pads. They are supplied by Textar. Textar, Pagid, ATE, genuine Mercedes, all very good brands, and I highly encourage people to use them. Now, these pads are secured inside their little cage such that they fit in a slot. But before I could put the pads in, I have to apply something called anti-squeal paste. Mercedes makes this paste. Its part number is 001-989-945112, and this paste is used to keep your brake pads from squealing when you apply the brakes. You want to rub it between both pads such that an even coating is applied. Then put them in their little housing. Now, to accentuate this further, you can see that the housing fits the brake perfectly. And what you have is some spring tension against the brake pads to push them forward. Once you are in all the way, you can take your new, most of these will come with a brand new screw, and putting some pressure on this item, you can screw it in. Now, sometimes this pin will try to jump back out. hold the pin in, and then push your caliper all the way forward, and with the caliper pushed all the way forward. And then finally, you can tighten up your set screw.
I paused.
That nearly completes your reassembly of the brake caliper. Now we're going to put the wheel back on. Putting the wheel back on can be a little bit tricky. That's why Mercedes has a tool for it. It screws into one of the bolt holes, and it helps you line. And then remove the wheel. Now, most Mercedes had that tool in their toolkit, but if you do not have one in your toolkit, you can order one through the Mercedes-Benz Classic Center in Irvine, California, and they will supply you with a new unit. See how easy that was.